So this seems like a really important thing.
True professionals like this who represent what we are in every single market.
There are opportunities out there, and you just have to grab it.
But a moment like that, where you realize you really do touch people's lives, it's a good feeling.
I mean, it gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
Watching or giving somebody the keys to a house.
Yeah.
And saying, here, welcome to your new home.
CNG Media.
Hey everyone, this episode is in collaboration with Robert Graham, featuring styles from the Short Hill store in New Jersey. Enjoy the episode. Welcome to Vino with Vito, and back by popular demand, we got Dom Santiago here, and let's not forget the Wizard. We got a nice podcast we're going to do today. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. My new Robert Graham shirt.
Looks
Chris,
good.
Always good.
Right?
Good.
Always
It's
good.
different, right? A little bit different.
Can't miss Vito.
You can't miss Vito. And the reason we brought you back, Dom, Chris and I, we joined a place called Care Club.
Oh,
Okay?
you look good.
So we're
You
getting
look
here,
younger.
and we figured we'd bring you here so we can help you out with
Look good.
with your hair there,
You look
if
good.
you don't mind. I'm just kidding there.
I shaved before I came over.
But Don bought a nice bottle quilt. I already had opened a bottle of a different Italian wine here, Salice Salento. So we
Sounds
let
good.
it breed. So we're going to try this one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's go.
But let's pour some wine here.
Thank you, Vito.
No, you're quite welcome.
So
Look at the color, the difference
does
in
look
color
good.
of the Italian wines, right?
Not bad.
Not bad, right?
So you're in
Right?
Paramus doing quotes?
Yeah.
What kind of quote? Just like reno stuff?
Yeah,
or?
just a little roofing, a little siding, exterior insulation. I
Thank you.
think that I had pushed a lot of that over the last couple of months, and
Yeah.
I'm getting calls on it now.
Good.
Because it was really cold when it was negative 10, 20. The wind was going through these houses, and the reason that's happening is a lot of
Shingles?
these houses are not insulated.
Yeah.
They're poorly insulated.
Especially a lot of these older homes, right?
The spray foam's cool now too.
I felt that the wind was going right through these houses. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, and then, you got to pump up the heating system, which is not effective.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're
not
getting
efficient.
$1,400-$1,500 heating bills on a 1,000 square foot
For
home,
house.
1,200
Crazy.
square
Oh,
foot
yeah.
home. Imagine the ones that are, 3,
4,000,
4, 5,000. It's crazy.
Somebody on Facebook the other day, they put on there, did you get your, electric bill, this month? Mine was like $900 and something dollars. Okay, what was your gas? We only have electric. Well, at $900 for what we've had, but also they have solar panels on there.
Yeah.
So
That
imagine
helps.
if they didn't have the solar panels, what their electric
it.
bill would have been.
$1,700.
At least,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
At least
more, or
$1,700.
more.
How are you quoting out these quotes now with the?
I'm asking customers to buy the materials, and then I'm just charging for the labor because I
Makes it
can't
easy.
pinpoint the materials. You give them a price quote, then they pull the trigger 4 weeks later, and then the prices go up 10, 15%, and then that means it's 10, 15% negative
you.
on me. So I can't pinpoint that anymore. So I'm like, you pay for the materials.
It's crazy
guys.
now.
Salute.
You drinking,
Cheers.
Chris?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just to be sociable.
First
Very
time,
nice, V.
nice.
first time I tried it.
I like
I
that.
think I'm gonna buy more.
Nice and cold.
Was this in your trunk?
It was in my trunk.
Perfect temperature.
I got to make sure there's always a couple bottles in there
Just
just
in
in
case.
case. We have a
Waiting for
occasion like
AAA,
this,
yeah.
waiting for AAA. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And we got to make sure we have a bottle opener.
Gotta be
in there,
ready.
right? You got to be ready. But you're absolutely right with the prices of all this material going up
And
people
labor.
and labor. But people don't understand that. They still think back like years ago. Like my brother right now, he's going to do an edition, put a mother-daughter edition on there, right?
Add on 30, 40%.
And he estimated a certain amount. And I'm looking at him, I go, are you serious? He goes, no, this is what it's going to cost. I said, yeah, okay.
If he doesn't have the money, he's
Lots
gonna,
of luck.
he's gonna have to go get a credit line,
Right,
call
right.
his brother, hey, you have another 50? Can I borrow 50?
Yeah, people sometimes, still think back, years ago what the prices were. But I think the way you're doing it makes a little bit more sense now. At least the people understand, hey, this
It's
is
not
what-
me.
It's not.
It's not going in my
Dom.
pocket.
Yeah.
Right. Dom's
It
charging
used to
me,
go into your pocket, but not anymore. Yeah.
What's going on the real estate side? You making money? A lot of activity, inventory, no inventory.
You know what the problem is? Still no inventory. Hopefully we can get some of this inventory levels back up there. Have a lot of buyers. Couple sellers here and there. We put the houses on the market. We're still getting multiple offers again. I did a hot sheet this morning, but what I did notice, a lot of inventory coming on. All of a sudden, you look and
What price point? 600?
They're all over the
700?
place. All over.
Minimum 500-600?
Yeah, starter homes 500-600.
500-600. And they need work.
And they need a lot of work.
That's challenging for a lot of young families.
And they need a lot of work. And I'm getting a lot of the people when you're showing them, the same thing. What do you think it's going to cost me to do this? Or what do you going to, think it's going to cost me to do that? And I tell them, look, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, but it could be a lot more. Add 20% to the number I'm giving you.
More.
Or maybe, and I tell them even maybe more than that.
So I'm gonna be 100% honest.
That's
right?
why we got you here.
So a lot of guys say, hey, we're gonna do the work, and it's gonna cost say $30,000. It's not 30, it's 40 or 50.
Yeah.
But if they give you the real number, you don't do the deal. So what they do is they say 30, and then when they open it up, then they say, oh, we got to change this, we got to change this, we got to change this, and then you say it goes up to the 50. So if you're too honest, if you're an honest contractor, you say it's going to cost $45,000 to $50,000, you don't get the account. The guy that gets the account is the guy that puts in the 30, but and then bumps it up to 45 or 50. The same thing when you buy in a car, right? But the base model, no, you need AC. Yeah. You need a little navigation system. You want a panel sunroof. You want the cooling seats, and then it just goes up. Same thing with the contracting business. But if they say the real number, people are not going to do the deal. The problem is sometimes people don't have the 50. They only have the 30, and then there's a shortfall for the 20. Then it becomes very complicated, unfinished products and projects.
Yeah, and especially if you don't know the contractor, and all of a sudden you're only giving them 30. Well, you're 20 short. I'm not going to finish it.
Can't finish it. I say, you owe me 10. Pay me little by little. You're not going to go anywhere, right?
You see contractors leaving the market to do something else, or?
Yeah. I applied for a job. I haven't worked in 28 years. I applied for a property management job at one of the big buildings. And, base salary, I think, is like 80 or 90. So I was like, I could take a job, stabilize my income, $80,000, $90,000, and then work on, put in some estimates over, after work and on weekends, and just to stabilize a little bit because there's not enough activity out there.
The cycle's low right now.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that disposable income is being challenged at all levels. At one point, crypto was floating around, and there was a lot of money making. People were making a lot of money in technology and in crypto. Then they took a 50-60% hit over the last 3-4 months. So the money that was floating around on the ultra high end side,
and they're living off that money too. They're trying to pull
so they were like spending money, buying big houses, just moving up the restaurants, and there were guys still moving money around Vegas, Miami, all the hot spots. All over Europe. And, when they took a hit 50-60%, that was the only sector that was making money. Mm-hmm. And then before that was real estate. And then real estate has been not enough inventory or slow. So there's not a lot of activity where the guys are not throwing money up in the air.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that about crypto, right? I'm hanging out with a guy the other day, and we're sitting down. We're just, shooting the you-know-what. And he saw me on my phone, and I was checking the market. And the market was down at the time or whatever. We're looking at it. We're cracking up, right? And he goes, dude, I had crypto. He goes, I forgot what he told me what he bought it at. And I think crypto hit a high of what? 120.
121.
121 or whatever. At the time we were talking, crypto was like at 60 again. He goes, Vito, I got out at 118. He goes, I wanted to stay. I thought it was going to go higher, and I got out. I go, I guess you were one of the lucky ones, because think about it. Now it's back down to 60.
Painful.
And he ended up buying more, but here's a story of one that made money. How about the people that bought at 118 and all of a sudden down to 60?
3 months. That's not easy.
Yeah, it's not, and that's a hard pill, to swallow. So
buyer beware.
It also affects relationships. I always go back to relationships.
100%.
Like if you even Chris, he's a young man, and when you do well in life financially, it makes you feel good. It passes on to your spouse, your girlfriend, and if you're not doing well, then you don't feel well. And the same thing as investors or business owners. If you do well, everybody does well. You can support your family. You feel good about that. When you're not making money, it's not fun. You're like, I should have took that job at New Jersey Transit 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a secure job back then.
Yeah.
Dom, no one's crushing it right now. No matter what the industry is, no one's like really making a lot of money.
So I pulled my 2025 statements, and my deposits were like a little under $1 million, and my profit margins, I'm gonna say like 15 to 20%. So I probably netted like 200,000, but I'm off by like probably 60-70%.
Yeah.
So 200,000 is not a lot of money these days. You're watching. You have a budget when you make 150, 200.
For sure.
Now, the way Chris said, a lot of people are not making the money, not doing as
What they
good
used
as
to be
what
doing.
they used to be doing. You call a contractor right now, they answer their phone. Before, a lot of
They
them
don't let it ring. Hello?
Yeah, hello, or they'll check it. Is my
That's
phone
true.
doing okay? Plumbers, electricians, any industry right now.
Even the supermodels, they're picking up the calls.
Oh, there you go.
You never picked up the call before.
But I had a situation where you call a plumber, they don't answer the phone, they're always busy. I make the hello. I'm like, wow.
Vito, every time we meet, we talk about reality, but there are still guys out there that are BSing. How you doing? I'm the best. I got 10 jobs going. I got 6 houses under contract. I'm closing 4 houses, this week. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing.
It's all fake.
Mother. It drives you crazy. But it's nice when you talk to someone that tells you, hey, everybody, we're all in the same situation.
Yeah. Everybody is right now. You have some people, you got a couple listings that sold or under contract, whatever, great. But listings are hard to come by nowadays.
Far few in between,
Right.
and in between.
And, you still have a lot of buyers out there, but it's not what it used to be. We got to knock
year.
on wood, it gets back up there.
It's a cycle.
So one of the things that I've been doing is like I've been paying like $300 a month for a cell phone bill for the last 25 years. I carry a couple of cell phones, a couple of iPads for my grandkids. I called AT&T, and I was able to get my bill lowered to like $170. I was so happy from $300 to $170.
Another $1,200 you save for the year.
So my car payment is $1,200 a month, and I think I owe like $9,000. So I've been waiting for a check to try to pay it off, but it hasn't come in yet, right? So I called Ford and I say, I'm having trouble with these car payments. What can we do? So they recasted the loan, they restructured the loan, and my payments went down to $650. So and they just
It's a huge
extended
difference.
it by
6 months or
7
so.
months.
Yeah.
So my payments went from $1,200 to like $650, and then my cell phone bill went from $300 to $150, $160. I feel like a brand new man,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not stopping, right?
Now you can take your mom back out to Atlantic City.
Oh, she's ready to go. She's ready to go. She's willing to fund me. But little things like that,
You have to
right?
do it, yeah.
At the house. Because we could talk about the negatives of what's going on, but we have to be proactive on how to, address these issues, right? So at the house, I asked my girlfriend, keep your clothes on, like not that she's, like keep a jumpsuit on, some pajamas. They want to walk around with shorts and put the thermostat at 74
when it's 10 degrees outside.
So it's like -20 with the windshield, so they're setting it at 74. So this thing is battling a difference of 94 degrees, and it's burning. I mean, I could feel it. I'm like, oh, this is painful. So she's like, it's cold in here. I'm like, put a sweater on. I have like a hoodie on. I have like a jumpsuit on. I'm watching TV. Like, because not that you want to be cheap, you want to be smart. You don't want to like, burn energy and burn money at that level. And then try to get the smart thermostat so when you're not there, it goes down to like a 68, 69, nothing too cold, but you want to run it at 68 to 72. But energy's a big factor in today's
68 to 72.
Yeah, well,
My thermostat.
What are you at, 63?
My at my house, right, 65. So my bedroom side is at 65. When we're home, like in the living area or whatever, I'm allowed to put it up to 66.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Can you see your breath?
Yeah, no, you can't. But you know what it is? I got to admit, the house is well insulated.
Yep.
Okay.
Helps.
And, I'm used to it now. My wife hates the heat. I hate the cold. But, we got that happy medium where I'm used to it.
That's
like
good.
one night I did put the thermostat, I think when it was a negative to 66 in the bedroom side, I was sweating.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that 66 anymore. 65 was the number.
So I recently finished the house. So I'm at the house and I put my hand on the windows and I feel.
You feel it coming in.
I feel it.
Right.
Because I didn't have any curtains, right? So they were the mid-grade windows. So they have the low-grade, mid-grade, and then they have the high-grade. So I call a couple of my buddies. I'm like, oh, man, it is cold in this house. And they're like, mid-grade windows, you should have spent another $40, $50, right? But when you add 20, 30 windows, it adds up.
It adds up,
right? Especially when you're on a budget and you're trying to get to the deadline. But if you have the extra money when you're building a house, try to get the high-end windows.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the
Efficiency.
exterior insulation that's 1 inch versus the half an inch, or the 1/4 or whatever. Try to get the thickest one.
Radiant heating.
Because you get all the guys are telling me that. Yeah.
But that's a smart idea, because think about it. You're going to spend it up front, but you're going to get it throughout all those years.
For years.
Savings that you're going to get.
But Vito, that when I was selling the house and I'm trying to talk to a customer about all the benefits and everything that goes into this house, the extra cost of insulation, interior, exterior, higher efficiency windows, higher efficiency on the siding, they don't care. So it's like an extra. The extra that you put into it, they don't care because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Unless you experience like a $1,400
bill.
heating and cooling bill.
What about our mutual friend with the 8,000 square foot house he just sold?
Oh,
Radiant heating, great insulation.
Big money though to
$700-800 a month for
high efficiency.
And the house is 8,000 square feet.
So the opposite would be, you're looking at a $3,000-4,000 heating and cooling bill.
If you have old windows.
If the house is not properly done.
Insulated.
It's a huge difference.
And then you got to play peekaboo with the PSE&G bill, like
Put in the light, see if it changes.
See if it changes. You're going like that, and you look at the number in that, and you got to put it back down. You're like,
It's like you're playing poker.
It's like you're playing poker.
I gotta tell you guys a funny story. I'm in my office the weekend before that negative 20, and I get to the office and it's about 60 degrees in the office. I'm like, oh my god, it's cold. So I'm trying to bring it up. It's off. I turn on the light. The light doesn't go on. To make a long story short, they fucking PSE&G shuts me down because I didn't make the payment for 2 months. And I'm like, isn't there a effing law against this? It's like negative like 20, right? It's gonna be about negative 20. So I call PSE&G and the local branch, and we closed. I have to call, 24 the customer service number. I'm on the line for like 2.5 hours. It's dropping to like 40 degrees now. I said, if this thing hits 30, these pipes are gonna start cracking. So 3 hours later, make a $1,200 a month payment, and then they put me back on. But PSE&G is like crazy right now.
Shakedown.
No, but PSE&G, Jersey, Power and Light, all these companies there, like here, they're going to shut you off, right? There's a foreclosure out there.
Yep.
People living in a home that's been foreclosed, okay?
Right.
They already got foreclosed.
They let
Either
it
the
go.
bank owns it or somebody else owns it. But they're still living in the house.
Makes no sense.
And they don't pay the water bill.
They pay nothing.
They don't pay PSE&G. They don't. But yet, all the utilities are on.
Politics.
Well, there's a law against from say December to say end of March, they can't shut you down for non-payment if you're a homeowner or if it's a personal residence. But on the commercial side, they can shut you down at any time.
At any time.
So that's what I learned. I live here. I don't. This is not my office. I live here, and then the rates are different too.
Yeah.
So you have higher rates on the commercial
than you do
than
on
you do
your,
on
your
the
regular.
personal.
Same thing with the water on commercial, sewer on commercial. I got a water and sewer bill on a commercial property. I'm like,
Painful.
you got to be kidding me.
So hey guys, so energy. You know what's the other number that's out of control is obviously taxes. And some of the West Oranges and the Oranges and some
Crazy
other
taxes,
towns.
yeah.
So they doubled the taxes because they reassessed the property at say from 400 now to 800. Then the multiplier is doubled. So some people are seeing $28,000 taxes from 14 to 28.
They have to lower the multiplier. They can't just keep the
okay.
multiplier at the same way.
But I think in West Orange and in Orange, I saw a bill go from 15 to 26.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's not fun.
So you look at that number, then you look at the insurance premiums, right? Because I was talking to a couple of the insurance brokers, and I'm like, why are my premiums so high? So they say, hey, at one point the house was assessed at $4,500, but now it's $8,900, and in the rebuild it's $8,900, so it has to reflect the new number. So now you got high energy cost, you got high insurance premiums, you have high taxes, and at the end, it's a fucking disaster. And then people that recently bought are not forecasting any of these factors, and they're in trouble. I think we're going to see a shitload of foreclosures in the next 24 to 36 months.
But I'm going to talk about the foreclosures. I'll talk about the insurance, too. I had my insurance for my cars, okay? And a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think for all 5 cars, it might have been $7,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Then all of a sudden, the 7 went to 95. I get the new one this year, $12,000.
Yeah, almost 100%.
Almost 100%. I call the company. Well, New Jersey got rated from a 7 to a 10, so that's why your premium, just went up again. I go, but I've been with you guys for 20 some odd years. Oh, yeah, but let's see how we can do it. Oh, you get that discount. Oh, you get that discount. I go, what about if I didn't have the discount?
Yeah.
For my vehicle, I'm over $4,000 a year.
So, Vito.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane.
It really
on the
is nuts.
car exotic side and on the exotic cars and even on regular cars. So, for instance, you buy a car and your payment is, I don't know, say $1,000 or $1,200, and then you think it's going to be $200 to $300 on the insurance. Now it's $500 to $600. So, what's happening is a lot of people, when they buy the car and then they get the new insurance bill and they merge those two numbers, they say, I can't afford the car.
Yeah.
The deal falls through. So that's why the cars are not selling as fast as they once were because of the cost of insurance. But there's another factor. The insurance companies are afraid that people are going to start burning these cars, right? Because if you can, right? No offense, but you're Italian,
But
right? So, but, back in the days,
Oh, a lot of people, that's
you
what
can't
they
make
were
a car
doing.
payment,
God.
It was in Newark
gone in
somewhere.
60 seconds, right?
Yeah. It was stolen.
And I grew up...
Without the key.
Yeah, I grew up in the city And I know guys that used to burn buildings, like, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like that's a factor now, right? Because the insurance companies have to factor in, right? And in the inner cities, right? Like you say, Newark or you know, just the tough areas, right? And like that's why there's so many fire damages, right? Because you're like, oh shit, you know, and they rent the attic and they rent the basements and they're illegal. So you know, people are burning candles, they're burning exterior heating systems inside just to keep you know, warm. But a lot of fires, some of them are you know, deliberate fires and some of them are accidents.
Accident fire because of what's going on. But the car insurance for like the BMW, right? I had the same exact BMW. So I go from 1 year to, you know, a new model. Double.
Yeah.
Double. Well, I call them up. I go, it's the same car.
So
It's a 2-year difference.
I'm on ChatGPT
all the time.
night.
Me too.
So I plugged in, why is this happening? The bumper to that BMW is like if you hit it at a 5 or 10 mile per hour.
You got to change everything.
Yeah, it's like $15,000-$20,000. So the sensors and all the technology, and then it communicates.
Even the hybrids.
100 different computer systems and chips.
Porsche parts for a hybrid are 3 times the price as a normal Porsche.
So my wife's Audi, right? I got to bring it for the first year service. And I go, look, there's a light that comes on, something about a sensor. Oh, we'll check it out. It could be dirty or whatever, something on the outside. They bring the car in, they send me a video, and they go, oh, your car got hit. I go, got hit? What are you talking about? Oh, there's a little thing here or whatever by one of the eyeballs, the sensor. I'm going, we never hit the car. Could have been maybe when it snowed. Now I'm thinking my son shoveling the snow probably hit it or whatever. All right, it just needs a recalibration. But, okay, what's the recalibration on that? $1,500.
Yep.
I go, what does that one sensor do? You know, close up or whatever. I go to the guy, I go, what would you do?
Put some tape on the dashboard.
No, just don't look at that light anymore. But $1,500 just to recalibrate it.
Back in the days, they would disconnect the chip.
Take it out. It doesn't work anymore.
And it doesn't work anymore.
Same thing with the navigation system. Navigation system goes in one of these cars, and it's $6,000-$7,000. Say like, oh, I'll use my phone. I don't need that.
I never use my car navigation. I always use the phone navigation.
But they're real factors. You know, the taxes,
insurance, everything, maintenance, upkeep.
The maintenance. You know, you're gonna fix something, and I think people, you know, are house poor where they can't go on vacations.
Yeah,
anymore.
credit card debt's still going up.
And you know, they don't go out to dinner as much, or they're not doing their hairs, and they're not doing all the extra stuff that they used to.
It depends on the person though too, because credit card debt's still creeping up. So the consumer's still spending on things, but they're spending money that they don't have.
Oh, Chris, it's hard to make those changes.
Yeah,
if you know, if you're accustomed to having dinner a couple of nights a week, and now you got to stay home and cook, it's hard. Who do you talk to, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you know, you love your wife, but that's boring. You know what I mean? You know, you want to see some guys, and plus you're networking.
For sure.
You know, it's part of doing business. Like, you know, when you go out, you're having dinner, but you're also networking with prospective buyers and sellers. So it's a combination of the two.
It's funny you say that. We went out to dinner, what was it, a week or so ago. We're at a restaurant, and I'm sitting this way. My wife's here, and there's another table with 4 people sitting down or whatever. We finished dinner, everything. We're about to walk out. Guy gets up. He goes, Vito, I thought that was you. And I'm like, and the wife's sitting there, hey, how you doing? I remembered the guy or whatever. Yeah. So my wife's looking at me. He goes, yeah, Vito sold me my house,
nice.
You know, in Wayne or whatever. Yeah. And we start talking again, how you doing? Oh,
show face,
we're thinking about maybe doing an addition or selling it, but why would I get rid of that 3% rate? You know, and it's just
you have to be out. I've done it.
Out.
I've said I'm going to try to stay home, but then say for a week or two, and you pick up no activity, and then I'm like, I'm going to go out every night. I'm just going to watch my consumption. I won't have 4 or 5 glasses of wine. I'll have it 1 or 2. I'll have 1 or 2 appetizers. And
So it's not get crazy now. We can still do 4 or 5 glasses.
Right. So, and then you say, I'm going to monitor it for a week or 2 to see if I pick up any activity on the business side. And bang, you pick up some activity. And when you look at the cost of the transaction and the cost of dinner, if I would have stayed home, I wouldn't have gotten that. So you got to be out.
You have
Can't
to
be home. If you're a salaried employee,
That's a
stay
different
home.
story. Right.
You're not gonna pick up no activity. But if you're self-employed, you gotta hit 3, 4 different, 5 different restaurants every night. Because if not, you're not gonna pick up any work.
How's your buddy doing? The New York City investor that I see on TV now. I love him.
In a snapshot, he's he's freaking out because all the factors that we're going through. So New York City is funny, right? They say, we're gonna, increase your taxes by 10, 15%, and then they put a cap on what you can raise on the rent side, right? On the residential, and say they do a 3%. So if they raise it by 15% and you could raise it by 3, you're negative 12, right? So 1 year is not that bad, right? But then you do that a couple of years in a row, and it becomes very,
really
very
bad.
painful. So your 100 continues to dilute at 8, 10, 12% on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
And then and then you combine that with your insurance premiums and everything else, and your profit margins start to disappear. And you say, I need a job. I can't. I used to live off my rental income, but now I can't.
I don't think he needs a job.
Well,
though.
he doesn't need it.
He's
this guy
a
got
player.
a couple of 100,000 square feet of retail space too.
I was watching the news, and they said the new mayor of New York City, he goes, well, we might not have a choice but to raise property taxes.
Right.
And they're putting people on the news
communism.
or whatever, right? No, but there was one guy on the news, and I'm watching the news, and which I hate to watch anymore because it just pisses you off. And he's going, yeah, I can't believe they want to raise my property taxes or whatever. I think the guy lived in Queens somewhere. Beautiful home. Had to be like 3,500, 4,000 square feet. Nice looking house, everything. He goes, yeah, we're at $11,000 right now, and he wants to raise our taxes. I go, $11,000 for that house. Yeah. Put that house in Montclair,
36,
West Orange,
30.
you're 40, 50, 60,000. So from 11,000, maybe you get bumped up to 12,000. I know it's still a big hit or whatever, but the property taxes, I don't think are that much out there.
I think they have high water bills and they have high.
I'm sure they do, but you don't want anybody's property taxes to go up to begin with. But,
well, where it becomes challenging is in the older years when you're on a fixed income. So if you're on, you're getting Social Security, you're getting a pension. So at one point, the pension was enough to cover all the monthly expenses, a little bit of money to go on vacation and to do a little dinner once in a while. But now it just continues to eat that up, and then your profit margins, or your disposable income becomes very thin or negative, and then you have to hit the savings, and then the savings could only last so long because we're living longer. So there's a lot of factors
right
that
now
are happening right now, and I think that's why a lot of the parents will say, they're welcoming family members to move in.
Yeah,
why do I have this big house?
Yep.
I live alone. There's only 2 of us. We got 4 bedrooms, so you have the kids moving in with the parents because it's cost effective, and then the kids are having trouble covering their own homes, and the parents are having trouble with their own homes, and they're
it's a
merging.
snowball.
Yeah,
Inflation's not good.
I miss my mom's house. I want to move back to my mom's house.
Inflation is the hidden tax. It's been happening now for a while.
Right. But think about years ago. That's how everybody did it. They lived together.
In a cape.
But they lived together.
I know, it was a little cape. I'm like, how do they live in these little capes?
Yeah.
We lived in a 2-bedroom home with 4 kids, 1 bathroom.
Happy times, a lot of fun, good food.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of fun.
We're going back a long time now.
Yeah, like 10 years ago. But no, when we first came from Italy, I always told the story. It was 2 families with 7 kids. In a 2-bedroom house with a porch and an attic.
Well,
and 1 bathroom.
There's a documentary out. It's called The Last of Little Italy. I don't know. I think I mentioned it to you guys. But the apartments were like $200,
Tiny.
6-7 people, but there was a lot of love, and they had the opportunity to buy some of these buildings for 50, 80, 100, 150,000.
That are now 25 million and 30.
20 million, and now the guys that have the restaurants in those same buildings are paying $35,000 a month.
Rent, yeah.
And their parents or their grandparents had the opportunity to buy these buildings at like
And some
nothing.
did. Some
Very
did,
few,
but not
a
many.
lot of them said, "Let's move to Brooklyn. Let's move
Hoboken.
to New Jersey, Hoboken."
But a lot
Missed opportunities.
But
Yeah,
you
but
think
a-
about the immigrants, though. They would buy a 4-family, 3-family, the whole family move in, pay down the mortgage. It was a smart way of doing things.
But back in the day too, like a lot of the immigrants, they didn't know about a mortgage. They wouldn't buy a house unless they had the money.
Well,
My
okay. They had
parents
the
had
seller-
no idea about
They
a
had
credit
sellers.
card.
At one point, they would have Vito remembered this. So if you bought a house for 50,000, you give the guy 10, 20,000, whatever you could scrape up, and then you pay him.
Seller
By the-
financing
So
kind of
he was
thing,
holding
yeah.
the mortgage.
Or you'd ask a family member, hey, you've been here so many years already. You have an extra $5,000 you can lend us. We'll pay you whatever. But you were able to do it and buy that house, outright. But meanwhile, if you could have bought 5 houses, 6 houses, and got a mortgage on each one of them.
Yeah.
But back in the day, nobody thought about that.
What's your prediction? What do you think's going to happen?
I think we're going to see a shitload of foreclosures. We're going to have a lot of issues, and it's going to be interesting.
Now that we're
STEM's opportunity.
Yeah, I cut you off earlier about the foreclosures too, but I was talking to an attorney, and he's saying he's getting a lot of
Bankruptcies?
a lot of notices to file for foreclosure, list pendants,
Yeah.
and all that. So you might start seeing, a lot of that come back again, which is, you don't want to see that, but like you said before, it's a cycle.
But you're going to see it. I think people are losing their jobs. This AI is on fire. If you don't know how to use the AI applications, I recommend everyone to start learning how to do them. They're pretty cool. Don't be afraid of them. They're your assistant, and you could really become a superior person. When you learn how to use it, it's like, holy shit, this is so powerful. It feels like if you have a group of assistants from Harvard that are working for you.
Now that you mentioned AI, right? You have a lot of kids that are just stupid now because of AI.
No, not at all.
No, I mean
These
where
guys are sharp.
no,
No,
when
they're smarter
when
than
they're
ever
using
now.
AI, but to put the pen to paper or to talk
just-
to
yeah, Vito,
I don't know.
So,
I'm thinking the other way around, because you get a kid right now, okay, that go get a job, right? A 14-year-old kid, 13, 14, 15-year-old
what?
kid. To go work at a restaurant or to go work anywhere. And
They don't have
to
the people skills, you say.
they don't have people skills.
that's
but
different
they
than
don't,
smart.
But again, they still don't understand, half of the stuff. You go to the cash register and you give them $1 and you got to get back 37 cents change.
They
They
compute
can't
that.
they can't
Yeah, but
comprehend that.
here's the
Come
thing,
on.
though. That kid that can't comprehend that right now will never see cash in the next 10 years. The times are changing
So I'll give you an
drastically.
example. They're very effective and they're very efficient. When you go on vacation, when we go on vacation, you say, I need a room. It's 2 of us. And they're so smart that they say, I just need a bunk bed. And they want to do the hostels, right? So there'll be a room this big, maybe with 6 bunk beds, and they sneak in and they get a little corner and they share that with their girlfriend, but they're paying $25, $50 a night versus $400 a night in a hotel room. So they don't spend the money the way we spent the money.
That's true.
They're very effective and they're very efficient. If they're gonna buy a car,
Even Ubering.
they
no one's driving drunk.
They search the entire country and they let the dealer make $500 at most. So it's not like when you go buy a car and you have the money and you don't care if they add $5, $6, $7, $8,000. You don't care. You want to buy it. They don't buy that way. They're very effective. They're very efficient. They're researching it. They are the hardest customers to make money from.
I agree with the people skills for sure.
100%.
But as for the smarts, these kids are going to be
So
light years.
a couple of the kids said they hired me to do a job I automated the job, and I can do it in 15 minutes, an 8-hour shift. Should I tell my boss? Like, he doesn't have to sit there for 8 hours. He's programmed it. He says, I do nothing.
There was a guy...
I'm playing video games now instead of working.
Right.
There was a guy, 22 years old, had 9 remote jobs.
Yep.
He was using all
100%.
ChatGPT. He was
100%.
making $1.2 million a year.
Yep. So you work from the house, and you're running all these different applications.
No, not that you're wrong. I agree with the people skills for sure. You could see like the communication with younger people just isn't there. But as for smarts and like what they're actually doing, it's impressive.
Well, Vito, they're so non-contact. They have girlfriends that they've never seen in person.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
So you say, "How's the girlfriend?" "Oh, she's good." I never see you with your girlfriend. "Oh, she lives in Thailand." Thailand. Right?
You got to be careful,
I say,
Thailand. It might
so I
be
say
a guy.
it might be a lady boy, right? So I say, what do you mean? "Oh, we just communicate through, FaceTime or, the computer." I said, "What about a little hugging and a little kissing?" "I don't know. I've been with her for 18 months. I haven't seen her in person
I almost
yet."
spit out my water.
But it's no contact. Like, when you're younger, you say, "Give me a kiss." You know what I mean? Give me a little tongue kiss, But now it's fucking crazy.
Chris,
But it's different. It's a different society.
Even at restaurants, I see like 4-year-olds with a big iPad, and they're like this at dinner for hours. Like it's just, it's different times.
Imagine having a girlfriend in Europe, and you haven't seen them in 2 or 3 years.
Chris, where's your girlfriend? Shanghai?
Morristown.
That's close.
Have
and
you seen her
even
lately?
so, I've been researching businesses, different research, like businesses. So one of the hottest businesses is OnlyFans. So OnlyFans is you got a chick on the laptop, and she's has a camera, and then you're at home, and you guys are talking, and you're feeding the pay. It's like a peep show, but on the computer, right? But these guys and these girls, some of these girls are making $30 million a year, right? A 21-year-old, and it's no sex, no nothing. She'll show, some private parts.
They're outpacing.
And the managers, Chris, are making, say, 20 to 30%. So if you have one girl could do, I don't know, $1 million a month, you pick up 20, 30%, you're running the cameras and you're helping her with her content. That's 20, 30,000 just off of one girl. You have a couple of girls and you're doing, $100,000, $200,000 a month. Big business. So they found that in America it works. It doesn't work in Latin and South America. The Spanish guys are not, into that. They want a real girl. But Americans, the kids, Europe, they're fine. They're fine with, having a girlfriend online, and they call her every day and they communicate every day, and they're spending money on her.
Can I take it a step further?
Go ahead.
AI.
100%.
They have AI girls now doing $20,000, $30,000 a month.
So if I were you, Chris, if I were you, that's one of the sectors that I would get into.
100%.
And so what Chris is saying is you can build a woman that looks like a woman, but it's a computer, right?
You can have hundreds of them.
And as small as you want, as fat as you want, as tall as you want, the color hair you want. It's so cool, and it's good.
It's changing.
And they speak, they respond. It's just the craziest thing. It's a totally different world.
It's such a different world now, and it's changing though so
Get
quickly.
Into it.
I started.
You got to get into it. So, Vito, talk about making money. These guys are making millions a month. So some of the guys that are very successful, they'll have 15, 20 cars, mansions. They're flying private all over the world. I mean, these kids are really rocking and rolling.
It's so you can monetize because that one AI model could have hundreds of Instagram accounts, all funneling to one link to that OnlyFans account.
Yep.
So the scalability to it is not local at all.
So this is the new world. There's no beef. There's no meat in real estate anymore. There's no profit margins. The transactions are far few in between. So it forces you to learn algorithms, OnlyFans management.
Just digital marketing, affiliate marketing, all that
Just
stuff.
different businesses, but there's a lot of cool stuff out there that we don't know that we need to explore because the traditional businesses are not making it. The restaurants, the car washes, the supermarkets.
Car washes are doing well though. There's a lot of
Operating
guys.
expenses are still high.
Yeah, but yeah, contracting and all restaurants, forget it.
Well, few restaurants are doing well. There's a couple of restaurants that have great prices, great service, and they're like 1 in 20.
And they have that following.
They
that
have,
you have the
the
same
Segovias, and
I love
you know
that place.
you have a couple of places where all the guys go. Then you have the baby boomers that have the disposable income because they don't have the mortgages. So the baby boomers that are cool, that are still young at heart, they're going out 4 or 5 nights a week. They're
spending money.
They're spending the money, but the younger generation can't spend the money at the same level. So those restaurants are doing really well.
Kind of like Chris. He's out every other night, at least, minimum.
Well, I'll tell you a funny one. In those restaurants, you got guys 60s, 70s, 80s, and all the girls are like 30, 40s.
Yeah, I see it in Florida.
And they're
all
looking
the time.
for they're looking for that connection.
They're looking for love.
They're looking for the love.
This one's different.
Yeah, daddy love. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there, Vito, and there's a lot of cool stuff that can be implemented. I'm working on some AI where I can combine it into real estate. So there's a whole bunch of applications that you can now, merge with real estate services.
Underwriting, finances, so many
different things. But they're out there.
I got to start getting into that AI.
I'll send you some clips.
Yeah, I got to have my own
I love
AI
having Dom here.
No, me too. I
my
learned
favorite
a lot.
We touch on what's going on, and the reason I'm forced to look into all these businesses and everything that's going on in the world is because I'm not making enough money, and I'm accustomed to making $500 million a year. So if I make $150,000, not good. I don't operate with those numbers. I can't afford to. So
that was your dinner bill.
I'm forced to find new businesses, and those are the new businesses. The OnlyFans, the AIs. You have to systemize your business. You have to figure out what's the new
high
stuff.
margins. Technology brings high margins. They're 90% margins on OnlyFans. I mean, you split it with OnlyFans, but what did it cost you to build the stuff? It's all digital.
But this is what's great about having Dom here. He tells the truth.
He does.
It's not like we're not sugarcoating anything.
Yep.
It's not like, hey, I'm doing great. I'm making $2 million now. I was making $1 million.
Fucked up. So, Vito, you talk to. So this is where when you run your numbers, and it's not because you're not working and your lack of desire to work or to perform, because you wake up in the morning and you're trying to network and you're making the calls and you're networking and you're doing, and then you're just not producing enough. And it almost makes you feel that you don't understand the business anymore. It makes you feel the world has changed. How am I doing something wrong? You start doubting yourself and you start, second guessing yourself, and you say, I don't understand this business anymore. Like, I don't understand the prices of houses anymore. I don't understand how the realtors tell a customer that the rental income is going to cover all those expenses, which I know they're not, and the property still gets sold. I don't understand it, and it makes you feel like the old guy in the business. Because the younger people, they just be as customers, and then the customer does it, but then they're in trouble 6 months later. Right, where the tenant can't pay the rent, and then their factors go up, and then they're in trouble. But there's a lot of issues out there right now.
And you're having like you said, a lot of younger people out there are using the AI. They're using the social media. They're doing all that, and they're picking up business from it.
I love how you say the AI.
The AI. The I. But no, they're picking up a lot of business by using AI and doing the social media and everything else.
Are they picking up business through AI?
I think you're starting.
They're going to start.
I mean,
because
it just started areas.
It just started coming about, but and there's a lot of people that are going to lose a lot of jobs.
Oh, for sure, it's already happening.
You're going to lose a lot of jobs.
It's happening big time right now.
Oh yeah, like you said, here's a guy, an 8-hour shift does it in 15 minutes.
100%.
So now, if he does go to the boss is going to say, okay, you're out of a job. Now he just saved X amount of money.
So you have, like, I've been using ChatGPT, right? So I go into ChatGPT and I ask it, real estate, give me a good topic that I can cover on Instagram. So it'll give you 3 topics, and then you hit the topics, and then it tells you, hit these points, the trigger points. And then that's how I was able to hit 100,000 views and, 1,300 comments, because there's a lot of, they have all the data, that you can extract, use it for your business, either to market a customer, either to do the marketing for your business. So there's a lot of good information in AI, in ChatGPT, that you can use to make your life a little bit better. It's just so new that we're in the transition period. But like last night, I had a double espresso and I was up and I was on ChatGPT for a couple of hours, and it was amazing. You're like, holy shit, this is almost way too much information. I feel like if I have a group of Harvard assistants, they just came out of Harvard. So when you can take all that information and then use it, and then once it starts to kick in and start generating income, then you'll be able to start making money again. But the old way of making money is gone. It's almost disappearing down to zero. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
Are you seeing a lot of older people starting to use
You have
ChatGPT?
to.
Like
so it's not
60s,
as hard.
70s, 80s.
It's not as hard as everyone thinks, right?
Because the older generation gets scared.
Yeah, but it's not that hard. I'm 56 now.
It's not that hard at all.
My fear is I don't want to get older and not have any money. I don't have enough money to support myself.
Or get left behind
right?
in the technology.
So I am forced to learn it. So when I'm learning it, I say, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, this is awesome. And it becomes like, holy shit.
You gain
and
the
it's
confidence.
Fun,
yeah.
and it's exciting, and it's amazing. And you're like, holy shit, this is cool information. And then you call somebody the next morning, you feel like calling them at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, holy shit, check this out, right? But, obviously everybody's sleeping. And so you wait till like 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, holy shit. And they're like, Dom, you're fucking like losing it. I'm like, no, I'm fucking learning. This is cool stuff.
The only thing ChatGPT pissed me off was I asked ChatGPT one day, I said, give me the winning lottery numbers.
And they didn't give it to you?
No, they gave me 5, but they didn't give me the 6th one.
That's funny.
Pissed me off.
That's fine. That's funny.
Do you upload data into it? How do you use ChatGPT? Or you use it just like a straightforward avenue?
I'll give you an example. My insights, right? I'll take a screenshot of my insights from the Instagram.
There you go.
Thank you, Vito. And then I'll screenshot it, throw it in, and it tells me where I performed, where I didn't perform, and what's it suggesting. So it's like having a social digital manager
ready to go.
That's ready to go, and then it's telling me make a left, make a right, go straight, stop, post that. Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, Thursdays at 5. But I think I did 300,000 views in 2 weeks. Something wild like that.
And it told you what days to post it?
It tells you what days, what time, the topics. It's so cool. And all you have to do is screenshot the performance, and then it throws it in, and then it starts to guide you in where you can increase your performance, and then you follow it. It takes a little while. You have to you do it. Doesn't work, you do it, but and then once it hits, it just starts to run, and you're like, holy shit, this is so cool.
Wow.
How long are your prompts usually?
The a good number is like 36 seconds. So you want to be at 36 seconds, 45 seconds. So like the clips, when you clip the...
No. Your prompts that you're putting into ChatGPT. Like, do you take long prompts? Do you do quick prompts?
I don't know what prompts are.
So prompts like is what you put into the AI. So like when it first came out, everyone was putting like easy questions, just like generic stuff. Once you start putting like an hour prompt in, a really long prompt. It's really impressive to see how the more data you feed it, the better the answers, the more it knows. It's really impressive.
I gotta get it. I gotta.
So this is the difference between an older ChatGPT user and a younger user. The older user has better questions. We're more analytical. We're smarter. We see the world in a different way. So you can ask it some serious questions that a 25-year-old
will never
never plug that information in because they're not there yet. And when it kicks back the information, you're like, holy shit, this is
It's crazy.
cool. This is insane. And I study sociology and psychology, and you can like learn a lot. You have, the more you use it, the better it is. But check out the interactions just for the month, 30 days, and then you could just check out the insights. But you just keep on using it.
Yeah, I gotta
have
get
fun
it.
with it. Take a picture of anything.
Now you have the one that you pay monthly.
Yeah,
Correct?
you take a picture of, the bottle. It tells you the region, who owns the winery, the history, 100-year history on it, on the company and on the wine. Same thing with a picture. I mean, it's just there's so much. It's a world and it's exciting. So like last night, I think I had a double
That's
espresso
awesome.
at 10 o'clock at night. Did you check out the other insights?
Yeah, so I'm just checking out your watch time. That one about the tariffs.
Yeah.
14 days of watch time.
I got one that was 30 days.
30. That's amazing. Think about that. That's a full
Wow, it's a
30
lot of
days.
views.
It's crazy.
So when you do something like that, right, and you obviously you're talking about tariffs, and then it's just the hottest topic. So what you do is you pin. I'll give you an example, right? So the one that I did with the cost of materials, this one had. So this one did.
I think I'm gonna hire Dom for me, Chris.
27 days, 27 days and 11 hours of watch time, right? So on the comments, 371, right? So, check this out. So everybody goes to the comments to see what everybody wrote. So you pin your comment,
Yep.
right? Your first comment, and then you say, if anyone needs any real estate or construction services, please give me a call, right? Because we're getting people into the page, and we're kind of talking about real estate, talking about Trump and tariffs and everything else. So what you do is you pinpoint your service, who you are, right? What's the
Right.
purpose of you talking
Gotcha.
about this, getting all this activity if you're not selling your
product
your
or your
product or your
services.
services, right? So I don't want people to say, "Oh, how you doing?" They're like, "How you doing? I saw you on my page, but I'm not making any money." So I make sure that whatever the topic is, even if it's off market, then I'm still putting in on the first
Yeah, you're
comment.
pinning it, yeah.
It says, "Hey, if you need any real estate or construction services, give me a call."
It's all about traffic. You running ads yet? I saw you said 0.2%.
It was 1% overall. So
Why aren't you running ads? If you're doing so well, why not add more fuel to the fire?
I don't know. I usually try to run $1,500 to $2,000, but I didn't have any money this month. I didn't have it in the budget.
So that $2,000, are you running it just towards just normal traffic, or are you
Different.
funneling it to?
So it'll be different. So it's different products. So it'll be like maybe roofing and siding now,
Yeah.
maybe asphalt, some pavers, maybe some swimming pools. Different products that are going to apply to
Yeah.
spring and fall, maybe power washing.
Are you seeing a nice ROAS from that, or
No, I'm not getting any activity.
are you running it to a form fill? Are you running it to a landing page, or are you just running it to your
to the
account?
page itself.
All right, we'll
That's
talk
why.
about that after.
That's what. No, so this is important.
I'm kidding with you.
So, why aren't you running that to a form fill then?
I don't know what that is.
I gotta show you that.
So there's stuff that you know that I don't
Yeah, I gotta
know,
show- yeah.
right?
What-
Because I just got on Instagram like 3-4 years ago.
You have
I've never had Facebook. I've never had any of these platforms because I felt like I don't need that stuff. That's for the young guys. And then when I got into it, and then the more I use it, the more you learn.
But that's where Chris comes in too, because like stuff you don't know, a lot of stuff I don't know. Half of the stuff you know, I don't even know. But
You have time after this? I'm gonna put something on the big screen. I want to show you guys.
I gotta go. I gotta be back in my house at 4. I got my granddaughter coming to the house,
No.
but we'll go over it. But what I can again to all the audience and whoever's watching us and our friends and our families, you got to start using the chat GBTs you have to start using all the AIs. There's so many applications that you can use in your business and in your sector that will make your life a lot better. And you need to learn it, because if not, your competitors are going to learn it, and it's going to push you out the door, and you're going to be clueless.
Right.
Facts.
And with AI and with the chat GBT and everything, where, you have these new agents out there using it, a lot of people are going to say, wow, he's doing great. He's doing good. Let me call him. Meanwhile, they're inexperienced realtors, but because they're using this, they're getting ahead of the game, and
100%.
they're getting ahead of the old timers. So I guess I got to start using this myself.
A lot of and I'm
Adapt or die.
56, but I have a lot of friends that are a little older than me, they're 60, 65, and the conversations are, Dom, I feel I'm lost. I feel like if I don't belong in the business anymore, I feel like if I'm losing myself, I don't understand it. What's going on? So you gotta check your landing page. You gotta check, say, your how you're popping up on Google,
especially maps now, because like we were saying about the car, that's all attached to your GPS. So if you're not popping up right, how many restaurants don't have the right location? The family puts it in to go drive there, they show up at the wrong place.
Yeah,
happens.
So but you have to have. So when somebody Googles you want to come up on, the first page. You don't want to be on the second or third page, because they won't make it.
They won't make it.
They won't make it to the second or third page, and it gives you points when you come up on the first page or on the first two.
Every once in a while, I'll Google myself just to see where I am, if anybody said any negative things.
Every
or
region
whatever.
is different where you're Googling from too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I pull it up and it comes up child support. I'm joking.
But what I do too, a lot of times for people too, when you're going on a listing appointment and you're sitting out, why should I hire you? Why should I shouldn't hire this other guy? I'll say, call the other guy right now. Oh, he didn't answer. Okay, Google his name. Google's the name. How many houses did he sell? Oh, he didn't. So why would you want to hire him and not me?
100%. Vito, and I haven't sold a house since 2008, and because I got into the building side, and I used to like those checks, right? Because on the transactions in 2008 or 2009 or whatever
Scary
it
time.
was, so the attorney would make $1,500, $2,000. The agent would make 20, 30, whatever the commission was. And I would see the checks from the contractors. I'm like, oh, that's a nice check, $250,000.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, I made 100. I did this in 6 months. So I got into that business, but I have to tell you, over the last 3-4 years, I wish that I would have did more real estate transactions, because I didn't make any money. My profit margins disappeared with the increase of interest, cost of materials through COVID, Biden inflation, and now the tariff. So I wish that I would have did real estate transactions, because I didn't want anything to do with it. So if a customer came in, I would say, call Vito. Vito, I'm sending you a seller. I'm sending you a buyer.
Send
Take
me a
care of them.
referral.
Just give me the referral fee. I'm a
Licensed
I'm
realtor,
licensed,
so I can do
So give me whatever you want. I didn't care, because I was working on some other stuff. But over the last couple of years, the top realtors kicked my ass, because the average sale is say $1 million.
They're
On
making
2-3%, right? On the low end side is $30,000, and they were popping out 2 or 3 of these every month. Some of the top agents. So I'm like, fuck. I made a mistake by giving up that part of the business.
You learn though.
And then the other area that I kind of gave up was, and Vito knows, we could have controlled the mortgages. We could have controlled the titles. We could have controlled the transactions and the construction. But what happens is, when you become too busy, then you start giving stuff away. But when the markets turn around, you say, I gave away too much.
Yeah.
I gave away too much, because your customer says, what attorney do you like? And you say, I like these 3 guys. And then they call those 3 guys. Who do you like for the loans? I like these 3 guys for the loans. And you say, just give it away, just give it away. You give it away, and then they'll take you to dinner or they'll take you for lunch or whatever. That's nice of them or whatever.
They'll say a thank you, giving you a business card to pass out to the next one.
Or you're going to do open house, I'll buy some donuts. Like,
no,
but
again,
donuts.
but that's how you are, that's how I am.
Correct.
You have a mortgage rep, or you have an attorney, or you have somebody title, or you have a contractor or whatever. It's all referral based. Where here, you know what, you're going to get this guy. I'm giving you this customer or whatever, and you get it back. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for a paycheck or whatever from somebody or a kickback. But you have the new people out there today. That's all they're doing.
Well.
I'd rather see.
I didn't get it back because I helped a lot of people become very successful.
Right.
I had guys that came in that were like nothing, and now they're like $1 million houses, great businesses, and they're doing better than I am. And you never get a call to say, hey, Dom, I appreciate everything you did for me. I'm sending you this customer. Can you help me with this or whatever? And you're like, oh, man, that you start to second guess yourself. Again, you start to second guess yourself when your numbers go down 70, 80% to no fault of your own.
Right, but that's the only time you start second guessing yourself. But when you're doing good, it doesn't matter. But I'll still have people today that, I refer out all the time. And when they have somebody, they always call me. Hey,
I'll give you an example.
I'm going to give you a referral, here.
For the titles, when I was younger, they used to say, Dom, you want to close a title? Like a loan?
Yeah.
Like a notary, right? Mm-hmm. They'll pay like $350, right? So, I'm not doing that, $350. But now you see some of them closing 6 deals. They're doing $1,800, and it takes 45 minutes to make $350, and they're doing it at 5 o'clock in the evening or 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're like, oh fuck, I should have took that.
Yeah.
And I was a young guy, but I was making so much money that I didn't want to take it. But now you're like, I should have took the notaries, I should have took the loans, I should have controlled it a little bit more instead of giving everything away.
You got to build a team.
I think it's too late right now to build a team.
How old are you?
56. I think it's a little too late to build a team.
Dom, you're 56. You got
You're
another
young.
20 years left, 15.
The goal is to stay healthy, right, Vito?
That's it. That's
Gotta
it.
take some vitamins.
Vitamins. I keep walking every
Walking a
day,
little
or the
bit.
treadmill when it's raining, snowing, or it's -20. I'll go on the treadmill.
But you at 56, you start thinking, you're the old guy. And at 65, you feel a little.
But
older.
once you start thinking you're
Just
the
a
old
number.
guy.
No, but Vito, I feel like
that's-
if I'm 35, but at the same time, I feel 35, but the mind knows that you're 56 and you're gonna start hitting 60. So, the other day, like, hey, Dom, you want to go out tonight? I'm like, 100%, right? And then it's like 9:30. I'm like, take a shower, I'm going to bed. 9 o'clock at night, on Friday night, I'm home. I'm sleeping.
But what I try to do is, again, it's only a number, and you just try to, hang out with the young crowd, like with Christopher.
You guys can't keep up. It's all right.
We can't keep up. But
It's hard.
I enjoy these conversations because, again, we don't beat around the bush. We don't, hey,
It's real.
business is good when it's not good. We are talking about social media. We are talking about the AI.
You
like
guys
it
are getting
was
a
the
5-minute
Facebook.
master class after this, by the
But
way.
I want a class because I want to learn the AI.
You're going to have a lot of fun.
So I'm going to start using that. Dom, before we end this, right? I had a great time. What would you say to the young crowd out there? How to start out, or what business you should be in right now? If somebody says, hey, I want to be a realtor, I want to be in construction, I want to do this, or look at it where your younger self 30 years ago.
So, Vito, I made a lot of mistakes where I lost millions of dollars, and I wish that I had a mentor, somebody that I can go to and say, hey, Vito, what do you think of this? Where they would say, hey, just be careful and check this out and check this out. Because when you're young, you think you could do it all, and you do it and you run into a wall, and you made $1.5 million and you lose $2 million. So you're like, now you're negative 500. So I wish that I would have had, I would have taken the advice to some of the older guys and then implement the new systems. But you also have to have the fundamentals of the history of business and life, and you put those two together. And I think they need to do that. A lot of them are just like, oh,
he's not going to watch us, Uncle John. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but you're absolutely right. My daughter, my oldest daughter, went to Seton Hall, and I actually listened to her podcast today. She had a podcast done where they got an alumni in there, and one of the things in there was she had a mentor from Seton Hall.
Yeah,
and
it's big.
It was huge. She would ask him, and hey, I don't want to do this. I really want to do that, even though I went into for this business or whatever. And the mentor actually, told her, hey, you got to do what you want to do, what you like to do, and and how to do it.
But Vito, this is the crazy part, right? Say you take on a mentee, and if you take on a mentee, they'll make, say, anywhere from $250,000 a year to $500,000 a year. You say, I'm going to help you make from $250 to $500, and I'm going to charge you $25,000. You don't have to pay me all of it up front, but I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you avoid some mistakes. They won't give you the $25,000.
No, her situation was different.
No, I'm just saying.
Right,
I'm just saying.
Her mentor actually
was from school.
From school, gave her a scholarship.
But like for instance, for us, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
it's harder for us.
I can take on. I don't know. I charge like $2,500 for 10 sessions, 45 minutes, 10 sessions. We'll break it up. We'll cover different topics. Come to a property. But for that $2,500, they could learn how to make $250,000, and I can help them do that. And but a lot of people are hesitant. They don't want to spend the $2,500, so they're like, and I don't want to give it away for free. I give some stuff away for free, but not everything away for free.
We just have that conversation.
We had that conversation. Chris was giving a lot of stuff for free, and people were doing what
what I implemented.
What he implemented.
Crazy.
It's hard, and it hurts. It hurts because you're like, I'm just trying to be nice, and I'm trying to help them. And then instead of them saying, hey, let's work together, or let's figure out how I can compensate you because you helped me when I was in my growing stage.
But you do have people that will do that. I actually got a customer through someone else as a referral, and wants to go look at a property, it was on the market a while ago or whatever. And he goes, you know what, but I want you to help me out. And, I'll pay you whatever it is to
like
to
a
do
buyer's,
it.
right.
Well, okay.
Or consultation
He
fee.
didn't have to do that. He could have went direct to wherever, he was before. But why? Because I'm giving him a service that the other person's not giving him.
Correct.
And he's getting, information that somebody else might not be given.
So, based on your experiences and successes, Vito, you could charge anywhere from $300 to $500 an hour just to talk to someone. And the smart money, they do the deal. The scare money or the people that have no money, they won't do the deal. But the added value that you give them, that I give them, is priceless.
Right.
And they're so effing crazy. I'm not gonna say the S, right? The stupid word, but they don't want to pay because they're small minded.
But here's another example. We had a kid in our office, right? And I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna mention the name, but he's like, okay, I got somebody looking for multifamilies and whatever, and new in the business. Instead of, he puts on our chat, I have somebody, whatever. So 2 or 3 people put on that chat, what are they looking for? How much do you want to spend? We never got an answer back. I see the kid today. I go, why wouldn't you answer, what they want to spend, how much, what are they looking for? Oh, I hardly ever go on that. But if you hardly ever go on that, why would you just put it out there? Now we have.
They don't follow up. They don't do the follow up.
The kids don't have to follow up. But that's why it's so important for somebody like you and myself. Here, this is how to run a business.
Well, the younger generation is different.
Yeah.
So what's dating like these days, Chris? Good girls?
Interesting. No.
Smart?
No, mostly no. But you got to find the right one.
Takes a little while.
It
Chris
does.
just found the right one.
It takes a little while.
Are these cameras on right now?
The cameras are on. Chris just found the right one. Troy, make sure you clip that one.
They it takes a little while to find the right one. But once
You
you,
gotta make
find
sure
them,
finances and life's in place first before you start dating. That's my advice. 'Cause if your life's if you're all over the place, finance it's hard.
But now, see what I'm a person like yourself, right? You're 26, 27, 28 now. But somebody even younger, okay, we're going to get married, this and that, like you said, with finances. You meet somebody, everything is great. All of a sudden, they got $300,000 in student loans that they never told you about. Now you're going to get married. Now you're going to pick up those 300 grand.
I have an underwriting process for everything.
Oh, so you
that's
look
funny.
at all that.
ChatGPT. Well, if they're a doctor.
Hey, the AI, how much does she have in student loans? This was a great episode.
Yeah, I mean,
I really enjoyed it.
There's real life scenarios that need to be looked into. You know, you look at their parents, you look at if there's alcoholism in the family, drugs in the family.
This changed everything.
Yep.
It changed everything.
Oh, talk about liquor. So I drink. I have to add this because this is cool information. So I drink every night. I take a couple of shots of vodka, and then I mix it up with a little bit of.
And you could just stop.
Well, I'll tell you. So I'll take a couple of shots after work every day, 2-3 shots, and then I hit like 2 or 3 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
Then I sleep. Go to bed. But then when I wake up in the morning, I felt that a little sluggish. It takes you a couple of triple espressos to get going at my level, right? So I said, let me stop. I can't stop because I've been drinking and it's part of my whole
regime, yeah.
Right.
Our business. But let me control my consumption. So I say, okay, I'll have 1 shot and I'll have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. And the next day, I felt better. And then when I went to a meeting the next day, my friend had went out the night before.
And you could tell.
And you could see it in his face. And he was still like a little dizzy. So I said, holy shit, that's how I was. So not that he was off 100%, but he was performing at around 78%.
Did you feel bad about the past once you realized that? Did you see like,
So I said, I'm going to stop. I'm going to slow down my drinking. I'm going to bring it down to the minimum as possible. Because when I wake up in the morning, I want to be able to perform at 9 o'clock, at 9:30 in the morning. I want to work on the day. So yes, I think that there's a negative correlation between drinking and then waking up at 8, 9. Because if you get going at, say, 10, 11, or 12, once you start to, like, balance out, the guy that was performing at 7 o'clock, 8, 9,
probably
10,
an extra
11,
like 8
12,
more days in the month.
He's outbidding you. He's out showing your properties. He's out marketing you. He's out doing everything. So because life is... our profit margins and our era of margins are so narrow. We can't afford these big mistakes.
Yeah.
You need to be as clear and precise as possible. So when you control, and I don't do drugs, and I don't but the drinking I am guilty of, but I'm controlling it to the point where I can perform at 8 o'clock in the morning.
You're seeing the benefit, yeah.
I see the difference. So that's a piece of advice that I give.
I like that.
Everybody. Yeah. No, I like that too. Me too. I'm down from 4 bottles to 2.
A night?
No, I'm just kidding.
You have a bottle a night, though.
No. I used
bottle
to.
a day?
Sometimes a bottle
Well,
a night.
there's,
I'm down to like half
but when
a
you
bottle,
look at, there's a couple of towns in Italy, the average age is 103. They all drink wine every day.
No stress either.
But, a bottle between 2-3 guys, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it's good for the system. But, when you start hitting some tequila shots and some vodka shots and whatever shots, and then it starts to hit you at the party.
I actually think the wine is keeping me looking younger.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. It's good for the system. And it reduces your stress lines, too, on your face.
And now that bottle's done.
But, Chris, the liquor, I see the difference.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like, if I'm doing business in Florida and we're going out, like, my meetings in the morning, I'm just a mess.
Yeah. I couldn't live in Florida and I couldn't live in the Caribbean when I was there because you drink 7 nights a week,
it's
every
right
night,
in front
all
of you.
night.
Yeah.
So I knew that I can't live in Vegas. I can't live in I can't live in Vegas. I can't live in Miami, and I can't live in those hot spots because I'm gonna drink every night.
I just like the weather. To me, my mood's different. I act different.
But
here,
you can't
waking
perform
up,
at 8 o'clock at night in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. You're still like
if I don't drink, then if I don't drink in Florida, and the next morning I'm like 7:30, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, but like, I enjoy Italy, right? Say at lunchtime you have a glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine. I might take a half-hour nap.
the siestas.
Right, 45-minute nap or whatever. But now I'm refreshed again, so at night I can
Get
have
another one.
glass.
Get another one.
But you're going out to lunch. You see everybody at lunchtime. That's what they're drinking.
But that's the system in Europe,
Right.
and it works. But here in the U.S., it just goes, and then if you lose 3-4 hours in the morning, then I think it hurts your performance.
Yeah, because in the U.S., like here, we'll go out to lunch and I'll order a glass of wine. Everybody's looking at me. He's having a glass of wine. I go, well, if I was in Italy, I would have one.
Yeah, have 2 bottles of wine, two glasses of wine.
But this was great, guys. And since my wine is finished, thank you, Dom. Thank you to
Vito,
Wizard.
you're looking good. I like the haircut.
Thank you.
Dom, thanks for coming.
I like
And
the haircut.
One day, and that day will come when you need to buy or sell a house. And when that day does come, you need to call Vito Cantuzzi, the godfather of Northern New Jersey real estate.